Hello everyone, this is Cody Lee of BlackCatBooks.org, author of I, the Dragon, Cruel and Beautiful, Rabbit Hole, King, D.L. Lord Frey, and the upcoming Jaw the Dragon. So, with the recent financial report from Nintendo, we got some interesting numbers in regards to certain release titles and the console itself. There's been a lot of stuff to talk about, but I think there is one glaring thing that the vast majority of YouTubers, industry shills, and just general observers have not really picked up on and have not really talked about all that much. Or if they have, they try to make it out to be like not a big deal or like just just a result of like Nintendo's just general appeal among audiences. But Nintendo Switch Online has 32 million subscribers. 7 million more than Xbox Game Pass at 25 million. Now, this is a really interesting figure to me specifically, as I think the only YouTuber on the internet who is actively defending Nintendo Switch Online since its very inception during the Nintendo Switch reveal event in January 2017, where they talked about this. I saw people like Video Games Awesome try to write this off. I saw Angry Joe try to write this off. Like everyone I saw, in regards to this topic, said the service was doomed to fail immediately just because it was a Nintendo thing, right? And now, years later, after the introduction of Xbox Game Pass, these very same people came out in droves to try and tell their audience that, like, oh man, Xbox Game Pass, it's such a good deal, it's so affordable, it's the Netflix of gaming, it's going to change the gaming industry. Well, guess fucking what? Nintendo Switch Online is outperforming Xbox Game Pass. I think, I don't know what the exact ratio is between people who have upgraded to like the expansion pass, but it's safe to say that Nintendo's strategies of like putting DLC in the expansion pass, N64 games like game trials, like all of these things have been a massive, massive success to drive sales and drive subscribers. Meanwhile, Xbox, if anything, alienated its audience. I myself canceled my Xbox Game Pass subscription because I had a lot of problems with it. Like, I didn't like their library, I didn't like the way the service worked, I didn't like the price point. Like, there were so many things about Xbox Game Pass that were just plain wrong to me. They were just plain disgusting that I just ended up just dropping the service. Not only dropping the service, but swearing off Xbox entirely. Does that sound like a successful platform to you? Does that sound like something that's maintainable? And in this day and age, right, with Netflix going up in price, I think it's safe to say that it's inevitable that the same thing will happen to Xbox Game Pass. It's going to have to get more expensive. I don't think Microsoft is actually making a profit on Game Pass, and the only reason they're putting so much support behind it is because they really have nothing else. Meanwhile, Nintendo Switch Online is working in conjunction with their general service of like being able to buy and play digital and physical video games, right? Like it improves the infrastructure, it improves the community. It is generally a good thing to see Nintendo Switch Online be as successful as it has. Like, it's giving kids the opportunity to play NES or Super Nintendo games they never would have experienced otherwise. Like, fanboys are people who grew up being told that like the N64 didn't have any games are discovering that holy shit, Yoshi's Story is actually pretty good. Sin and Punishment is a classic. Like, Paper Mario, Banjo-Kazooie, Super Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. Like, the list, F-Zero X, the best game of the year so far. Like, the list goes on and on and on. Like, the reasons to subscribe to Nintendo Switch Online are just accumulating and building up to the point where like $50 a year seems like an absolute steal compared to Microsoft's, what is it, like $120 a year for fucking Game Pass so you can play Halo Infinite at launch? No fucking thank you. My advice to Xbox gamers, those of you who are still like foolish enough to buy into the Xbox ecosystem, just buy the games. Like, why subscribe to this paltry service? Like, if you want to play online, buy them on Steam. Buy Tekken 7 on Steam. That's what I did. Like, shit. I'm not paying Microsoft for online play and a bunch of games I can just high, but the Nintendo service is objectively superior. And on top of that, their service is far, far more successful.